Introduction. Few scientists and communicators have shaped humanity's emotional and intellectual relationship with the universe as profoundly as Carl Sagan. Astronomer, planetary scientist, and philosopher of science, Sagan had a rare ability to explain complex cosmic ideas in language that resonated with ordinary people. One of the most persistent feelings people report when contemplating the cosmos is a sense of emptiness. Vast stretches of dark space, immense distances between stars, and an apparent silence that seems to mock our longing for connection. Sagan addressed this feeling repeatedly throughout his books, lectures, and television series Cosmos. He did not see the universe's emptiness as meaningless or hostile. Rather, he understood it as a natural consequence of physical laws, cosmic history, and human perspective. This essay explores why, according to Carl Sagan's ideas, the universe feels so empty, and what that emptiness actually tells us about reality, life, and ourselves. 1. The scale of the cosmos and human perception. One of Sagan's central themes was scale. Human beings evolved on a small planet within a narrow range of distances and times. Our brains are exquisitely tuned to survive in forests, savannas, and coastal regions, not to intuitively grasp light years, billions of galaxies, or cosmic time measured in eons. When we first confront the true scale of the universe, emptiness feels inevitable. Sagan often emphasized that space is mostly empty, not because something is wrong, but because the universe is unimaginably large. Between the Earth and the Moon lies enough space to fit all the planets of the solar system with room to spare. Between stars are distances so vast that even traveling at the speed of light would take years or centuries. Between galaxies, millions of light years of near vacuum stretch outward in every direction. To the human mind, this translates emotionally as loneliness. Sagan explained that this reaction says more about us than about the universe. Our intuition expects density, closeness, and constant interaction because those conditions defined our evolutionary past. When the universe violates those expectations, it feels empty, cold, and indifferent. But from a cosmic point of view, this emptiness is simply the default state of space. 2. Why space is mostly empty. Physics, not neglect. Sagan was careful to ground wonder in physics. The emptiness of the universe arises from fundamental forces and the way matter organizes itself. Gravity pulls matter together, forming stars, planets, and galaxies, but it also leaves vast regions where matter never collects. After the Big Bang, matter was distributed almost uniformly, with tiny fluctuations in density. Over billions of years, gravity amplified those fluctuations, pulling matter into filaments and clusters. The result is a cosmic web, galaxies arranged along enormous strands, surrounding immense voids. These voids can span hundreds of millions of light years and contain almost nothing. To Sagan, this structure was not depressing. It was beautiful. The emptiness is what allows structure to exist at all. Without vast empty regions, matter could not collapse into stars. Without separation, there would be no stable planetary systems, no long-lived suns, and no environments where life could arise. The universe feels empty because emptiness is a necessary condition for complexity. 3. The silence of the stars and the Fermi. Question: one of the most emotionally powerful aspects of cosmic emptiness is silence. If the universe is so old and so large, why don't we hear from other civilizations? This question is often summarized by the Fermi paradox. If extraterrestrial life is common, where is everybody? Sagan did not see this silence as proof that we are alone. Instead, he outlined several possibilities. Intelligent life may be rare. Technological civilizations may be short-lived. Communication across interstellar distances may be extremely difficult, or perhaps civilizations deliberately remain quiet. What matters for Sagan's explanation of emptiness is that even a universe filled with life could still feel silent. The distances are so vast that signals weaken and disperse. Civilizations may rise and fall millions of years apart, never overlapping in time. In such a universe, life could be abundant, yet isolated. Thus, the feeling of emptiness does not necessarily imply actual emptiness. It may simply reflect the limits of communication imposed by physics and time. 4. The cosmic time scale. Emptiness as a snapshot. Another key idea in Sagan's thinking was time. The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old, while modern human civilization has existed for only a few thousand years. Radio technology, the tool we use to listen for other civilizations, has existed for just over a century. From this perspective, our experience of emptiness may be a temporary snapshot. We are listening during a very short window at a very early stage of our technological development. Sagan often compared this to dipping a glass into the ocean and concluding there are no fish, because none happened to be in the glass at that moment. Emptiness, then, may not be permanent or universal. It may simply be what the universe looks like from our brief position in cosmic time. 5. Psychological emptiness versus physical emptiness. Sagan distinguished between physical emptiness and psychological emptiness. Physically, space is mostly vacuum. Psychologically, emptiness becomes troubling only when we interpret it as meaninglessness. Humans naturally seek purpose, connection, and narrative. When we look into the vast darkness between stars, we project our fears onto it. We imagine abandonment or insignificance. Sagan argued that this reaction is understandable but misguided. The universe is not empty of meaning, he said, but meaning is not handed to us from the outside. Meaning is something conscious beings create. The universe does not owe us comfort, but it does offer the raw materials, atoms, energy, time, from which meaning can arise. 6. The pale blue dot and the power of perspective. One of Sagan's most famous reflections came from the image of Earth taken by Voyager 1 from beyond the orbit of Neptune. The Earth appeared as a tiny speck, suspended in a sunbeam. To many, this image intensified the feeling of emptiness. Sagan saw it differently. He argued that the vast emptiness surrounding that pale blue dot made life on Earth more precious, not less. Every human who ever lived existed on that tiny point of light. All our loves, conflicts, hopes, and discoveries happened there. In an empty universe, life becomes rare and valuable. The emptiness emphasizes responsibility. If life is uncommon, then preserving it matters enormously. 7. Emptiness as a condition for freedom. Sagan also hinted at a more subtle idea. Emptiness allows freedom. In a densely packed universe, everything would be constrained by constant interaction. The vast distances between stars give planetary systems stability. They give civilizations time to develop without immediate external interference. Emptiness provides room for evolution, for experimentation, for diversity. In this sense, the universe's emptiness is not a flaw, but a feature. 8. The role of darkness and vacuum in creation. In Sagan's scientific worldview, emptiness is not nothingness. Even the vacuum of space is filled with energy, governed by quantum fields. Particles appear and disappear. Radiation travels, forces extend across distances. Darkness, too, is not the absence of activity, but the absence of light reaching our eyes. Stars are born in darkness. Galaxies evolve in the voids between other galaxies. Creation often requires isolation. 9. Cultural myths and the fear of emptiness. Sagan was deeply interested in how culture shapes our response to the cosmos. Many ancient myths imagined the universe as small, enclosed, and centered on humanity. Modern astronomy shattered that image. The resulting emptiness can feel like a loss. We are no longer at the center. The universe does not revolve around us. Sagan acknowledged this discomfort but argued that intellectual humility is a strength. Accepting our smallness allows us to grow beyond childish fantasies. 10. Emptiness and the search for life. Far from discouraging exploration, the apparent emptiness of the universe motivated Sagan. If life is rare, then finding it becomes one of the greatest scientific quests imaginable. If life is common, then emptiness is only an illusion created by distance. Either outcome is profound. In both cases, the universe invites curiosity rather than despair. 11. Emptiness does not mean indifference. A common misunderstanding is to equate emptiness with indifference. Sagan rejected this. The universe operates according to laws that are consistent and discoverable. That regularity makes science possible. Stars shine, atoms bond, planets form, not because the universe cares, but because it follows rules. Within those rules, lies. Life emerges and consciousness arises. Indifference at the cosmic level does not prevent meaning at the human level. 12. Humanity as a way for the cosmos to know itself. Perhaps Sagan's most poetic response to cosmic emptiness was his idea that we are a way for the universe to know itself. In this view, emptiness is the backdrop against which awareness appears. The universe was dark and empty for billions of years before life arose. Now, through us, it can reflect on its own origins. Emptiness is not the final state. It is the canvas. Conclusion: Carl Sagan did not deny that the universe feels empty. He embraced that feeling and transformed it. The emptiness arises from vast scale, physical law, and the limits of human perception. It is intensified by silence, distance, and time. But for Sagan, emptiness was not nihilism, it was context. The universe feels empty because it is large, old, and governed by simple rules. Within that emptiness, complexity, beauty, and life emerge. The silence challenges us to listen more carefully. The darkness invites us to create light of our own, through knowledge, compassion, and exploration. In Sagan's vision, the universe is not empty of meaning. It simply asks us to supply it.